Have you ever stood in the grocery aisle, holding a package of fish, believing you were making one of the best possible choices for your health? You picture a delicious, simple meal that will strengthen your heart and sharpen your mind. But what if that very choice, made with the best intentions, was silently introducing a thief into your body? A thief that could steal your memories, stiffen your joints, and cloud your thinking, all while you believe you're doing everything right. For millions of seniors across America, this isn't a hypothetical question. It's a quiet reality unfolding at their dinner tables every week. The line between a food that heals and a food that harms can be invisibly thin. And knowing the difference is one of the most powerful acts of self-preservation you can take after the age of 60. Welcome to Healthy Steps Seniors. I'm Christopher Wilson, and on this channel, our mission is to blend timeless wisdom with trusted science-backed medical guidance to help you navigate your senior years with strength, clarity, and confidence. Today, we're tackling a crucial topic that sits at the heart of healthy aging: fish. We're going to pull back the curtain on the 4 worst fishes you should never touch, revealing the hidden dangers they pose specifically to those of us over 60. But we won't leave you there. We will then illuminate the path forward, highlighting the 4 best fishes you absolutely must eat, the true nutritional champions that can help you rebuild strength, protect your brain, and fuel a vibrant, independent life. Every piece of advice we share is grounded in solid scientific evidence. So let's begin this important journey together. First, let's navigate the hazardous waters and discuss the 4 fish to leave off your plate. Our first fish to avoid is one that many people see as a safe, budget-friendly option: imported catfish. I remember a patient of mine, a wonderful gentleman named Arthur, a retired school teacher in his late 70s. He was diligent about his health, but he was struggling with recurring infections that his body just couldn't seem to shake. His doctors were concerned about potential antibiotic resistance. During a nutritional consultation, he mentioned that he ate baked catfish 3 times a week, always buying the affordable imported fillets from the big box store. He thought it was a perfect lean protein. The reality, as we uncovered, was deeply troubling. The problem with much of the imported catfish, especially from certain overseas farms, begins in the way it's raised. As our team's nutrition specialist often explains, these fish are packed into incredibly crowded ponds, which become breeding grounds for disease. To prevent massive losses, these farms often use a heavy cocktail of antibiotics. According to reports investigated by the U.S. Government Accountability Office, residues of these drugs, some of which are banned for use in American aquaculture, can remain in the fish's flesh. When someone like Arthur eats this fish regularly, he's not just getting protein, he's getting a low dose of various antibiotics, which can contribute to the terrifying problem of antibiotic resistance. This means when he truly needs an antibiotic for a serious infection, it may be less effective. But it doesn't stop there. These fish are often fed an unnatural diet heavy in corn and soy, which dramatically skews their fatty acid profile. Instead of the anti-inflammatory omega-3s we hope to get from fish, this diet makes the catfish high in inflammatory omega-6s. For a senior managing arthritis or heart health, eating this type of fish is like trying to put out a fire with a squirt of gasoline. Arthur's joint pain wasn't improving, and his diet was a contributing factor. The safer choice is always to look for U.S. farm-raised catfish, which is held to much stricter federal standards, ensuring a cleaner, safer, and more nutritious meal. Next on our list is a fish that has been a staple in American kitchens for generations: tuna. particularly the larger species. Let me tell you about Margaret, an 82-year-old artist who came to us because she was terrified of her senior moments. She was experiencing a persistent brain fog, moments of confusion, and a slight tremor in her hands that interfered with her painting. She feared it was the beginning of dementia. Her diet seemed healthy. She had a tuna salad sandwich on whole wheat for lunch almost every single day, using white albacore tuna because she heard it was better. Here lies the silent danger of tuna: mercury. As Dr. Wilson, our lead geriatric specialist, often illustrates, think of the ocean's food chain as a pyramid. Tiny fish absorb a little mercury from the water. Medium fish eat lots of tiny fish, concentrating that mercury. Large, predatory fish like Bigeye and Albacore tuna live for a long time and eat countless medium fish, accumulating mercury in their tissues to very high levels. When Margaret ate her daily sandwich, that mercury wasn't just passing through her, it was bioaccumulating in her body. And mercury is a known neurotoxin. For a senior whose body's natural detoxification systems may not be as robust as they once were, this buildup is especially dangerous. A study published in JAMA Neurology found a direct link between higher mercury levels in seniors and a significantly greater risk of cognitive decline. The very symptoms Margaret was afraid of, memory loss, confusion, tremors, can all be signs of mercury toxicity. We had Margaret switch her lunch routine, and over several months, alongside other supportive therapies, her fogginess began to lift and her hands became steadier. The dementia she feared was, in large part, a reflection of her diet. If you enjoy tuna, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, advises sticking to canned light tuna like skipjack and limiting it to no more than once a week. But for seniors, there are far safer ways to get your protein and omega-3s. The third fish to strike from your list is king mackerel. This one is tricky because not all mackerel is created equal. I worked with a man named Frank, a retired Navy captain who prided himself on a sharp mind. He and his wife started eating grilled mackerel twice a week after their doctor recommended more oily fish for heart health. But Frank started experiencing dizzy spells and a strange numbness in his fingers. He dismissed it as just getting old. The problem was, his local fish market simply labeled the fish as mackerel, and what he was buying was king mackerel. King mackerel is another large predatory fish that sits at the top of the food chain, and it is notorious for having some of the highest mercury levels found in any commercial fish. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, places king mackerel on its do not eat list for pregnant women, children, and by extension other vulnerable populations, including seniors. The high mercury content directly impacts the nervous system and the heart, potentially disrupting electrical rhythms and damaging blood vessel linings. For someone like Frank, who was already managing his blood pressure, he was unknowingly putting his cardiovascular system under significant stress. The safe alternatives are Atlantic or Spanish mackerel, which are much smaller and have far lower mercury levels. The lesson from Frank's story is the importance of being a detective at the fish counter. Always ask for the specific type of mackerel. If they can't tell you, it's best to walk away. Finally, the worst fish of all, a fish that has been marketed as a lean, healthy, and affordable protein, is farmed tilapia. Helen, a 76-year-old with painful osteoarthritis, switched from red meat to tilapia, hoping it would ease her inflammation. Instead, her joints became more swollen, her pain worsened, and she felt sluggish and unwell. She was baffled. She was eating healthy fish, so why was she feeling worse? The answer lies in the grim reality of how most tilapia is farmed globally.
To keep costs down, these fish are fed a diet of cheap corn and soy meal. As our clinical nutritionist points out, this unnatural diet fundamentally changes the fish's nutritional makeup. Healthy, wild fish are rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. Farmed tilapia, however, has a shockingly high concentration of inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids with an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that can be as high as 11 to 1. Research from Wake Forest University School of Medicine suggested that the inflammatory potential of farmed tilapia is greater than that of bacon or a hamburger. Helen was trying to fight inflammation, but her dinner was actively fanning the flames. Furthermore, to combat the diseases that run rampant in crowded fish pens, farmers often use chemicals and antibiotics. Traces of these, along with industrial pollutants like dioxins, have been found in tested samples of imported tilapia. Helen's health food was a cocktail of inflammatory fats and potential toxins. For her, and for all seniors, avoiding farmed tilapia is a critical step toward reducing inflammation and protecting long-term health.
Now, after navigating through those warnings, I want to bring you to the good news. For every fish that poses a risk, there is another that offers a profound reward. Choosing the right fish is like inviting a team of healers into your body, working to soothe inflammation, strengthen your bones, and protect the delicate wiring of your brain. Let's dive into the 4 best fish you can eat. Our 4th best fish is a humble hero of the sea, wild-caught Pacific cod. Many people overlook this mild white fish, but for seniors, it's a nutritional powerhouse. Cod is exceptionally rich in high-quality, easily digestible protein, which is your #1 weapon against age-related muscle loss, a condition called sarcopenia. Maintaining muscle isn't about vanity. It's about maintaining your independence. The strength to lift groceries, the stability to climb stairs, and the balance to prevent a life-altering fall. But cod's true secret weapon is its incredible selenium content. As research highlighted by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, has shown, selenium is a crucial antioxidant mineral that helps protect your cells from the rusting process of oxidative stress that drives aging. It's also vital for a healthy thyroid, which regulates your metabolism and energy levels. Many seniors with sluggish energy and brain fog are low in selenium. A single serving of Pacific cod can provide more than your entire daily requirement. And because cod is a shorter-lived fish from the clean, cold waters of Alaska, it has very low levels of mercury, making it a safe and reliable choice. To best preserve its benefits, try baking or steaming it gently with a bit of olive oil and lemon. Our 3rd best fish is small in size, but mighty in benefit: sardines. Don't let the little can fool you. Sardines are one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Their greatest gift is their extraordinary concentration of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These are the ultimate anti-inflammatories. They work to soothe aching joints, keep blood vessels flexible, and lower triglycerides, directly supporting heart health. Moreover, sardines are one of the very few natural food sources of vitamin D. After age 60, our skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight, and deficiency is rampant. This is critical because you need vitamin D to absorb calcium and keep your bones strong. And speaking of calcium, you eat the tiny, soft, edible bones in sardines, making them an unparalleled source of bone-building calcium and phosphorus. A can of sardines is a self-contained bone health kit.
Because they're at the bottom of the food chain, feeding on plankton, they are virtually free of mercury and other contaminants. They are an affordable, safe, and incredibly effective way to protect your bones, heart, and brain. Coming in at number 2 is the celebrated king of healthy fish, wild-caught Alaskan salmon. The vibrant pink-orange hue of wild salmon comes from a unique and potent antioxidant called astaxanthin. Think of astaxanthin as internal sunscreen for your cells, protecting them from damage. Studies have shown it supports skin elasticity, eye health, and reduces inflammation throughout the body. Of course, salmon is also famous for its omega-3s, which are essential for brain health. The DHA in salmon is a literal building block of your brain cells. Research from institutions like the University of Pittsburgh has demonstrated that seniors with higher levels of DHA have better memory and larger brain volumes. Eating wild salmon is like providing the essential raw materials your brain needs to resist age-related decline. It's crucial, however, to choose wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Farmed salmon is often raised in crowded conditions, given antibiotics, and has a less favorable fatty acid profile and higher levels of contaminants like PCBs. Wild salmon from the pristine waters of Alaska is a clean, powerful, and transformative food.
And finally, our number 1 fish for seniors, a choice that combines the best of all worlds, rainbow trout. While salmon often gets the spotlight, rainbow trout quietly emerges as the champion for seniors for a few key reasons. First, safety and purity. Rainbow trout, raised in the U.S., are farmed in carefully managed freshwater raceways under strict environmental controls. This results in a fish that is consistently clean and free from mercury and other pollutants, making it one of the most reliable choices available. Nutritionally, it's a superstar. It delivers a fantastic dose of omega-3s, comparable to salmon, but it's also packed with a mineral that is critically important for blood pressure management: potassium. The American Heart Association emphasizes potassium's role in helping to lessen the effects of sodium. With so many seniors managing hypertension, the high potassium in trout is a major benefit. It's also rich in phosphorus for bone health and a full spectrum of B vitamins, especially B12, to support nerve function and fight the fatigue and brain fog that can plague our later years. Its flavor is milder than salmon, and its texture is delicate, making it wonderfully easy to digest. Rainbow trout offers the anti-inflammatory power of an oily fish with the clean, gentle profile of a white fish. It is, quite simply, the complete package for senior health. So, the power is now in your hands. What you place on your fork is a choice that echoes through your body, impacting your energy today and your health for all your tomorrows. It can be the difference between a future clouded by pain and confusion and one filled with clarity, strength, and the freedom to live your life to the fullest. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with one simple swap. Replace one of the risky fish with one of our champions just once this week. That single step, repeated over time, is an investment in your future. Please remember, this information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have seen on this channel. At Healthy Steps Seniors, we believe your best years are not behind you, but are waiting to be lived with wisdom and vitality. If this information has been valuable to you, please support our mission by hitting the like button, sharing this video with a friend or family member, and subscribing for more science-backed guidance.
And now, we'd love to hear from your own well of wisdom. Which fish from our best list are you most excited to try? Or do you have a favorite healthy recipe you'd like to share? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Reading your stories and insights is a highlight of our day. Here's to making choices that help you live stronger, longer.